Today I want to talk to you about the importance of the first sentence.
Every moment is a teachable moment.
So the first sentence in your copy is so very important. Why is it important? Well, number one, it's the first thing that people hear when they're listening to a voiceover audition or a job. And it is the words and your voice in combination together with your acting, which is going to draw people into the story. And so from the very first word and the very first sentence, in the very first sentence, you need to engage your listener. So it's very important that you understand where you are in the scene, who you are in the scene, who you're talking to, and then really have a good hold on what is that storyline. And not just the storyline for the first sentence, but the storyline that really is prevalent throughout the entire piece of copy, but especially on that first sentence, because no matter what, the person that's listening to the job, the person that's going to be casting you, the talent agent that might be listening to your audition, whoever it is, they're busy people and they want to make sure, right, that you have got what it takes to really tell that story. They may not listen past that first sentence. So make sure that when you are auditioning, that you really understand the purpose of those words, the purpose of that first sentence. Set the tone, set the pace, set the introduction. In the beginning, once upon a time, the beginning of that story, and really draw your listeners in. You don't want to go too fast necessarily on that line, unless, of course, the scene calls for that. But you want to draw your listeners in. What is the storyline? Make sure you're doing some really good assessment of the copy. Who are you? Who are you talking to, of course? And what is the story that the script is telling? And it, no matter what, if this is corporate script, if this is e-learning, if this is a commercial, if this is promo, really you have to understand from word one, you have to have that connection. You have to sound like you've got that story. And it's very, very obvious when you don't, because a lot of times people will just kind of, once upon a time, you'll take that first word and it'll just be like, here's my monologue. Versus if you're coming into a story and you're like, hey, I've got something to tell you. And you draw them in with your voice, you draw them in with your point of view, your emotion. So really go ahead and do a good job of analyzing that script and come in on the very first word in the very first sentence of that script, being engaged, being connected to the story, and telling that story to your listener. For more performance tips, make sure to check out my videos here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.